Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman from Sanandaj who had traveled to Tehran with her family for vacation, was arrested by the Guidance Patrol Forces on 13th of September when she was with her brother at the entrance of Haqqani Highway. The Guidance Patrol Forces transferred Mahsa Amini to the Moral Security Police office in Wazara Street. But according to Mahsa's brother, Kiarash Amini, the families who were waiting for their beloved ones to get released from Guidance Patrol officers heard loud shouts from inside the police office building minutes later. And when they got worried and inquired about the source of the screams, the officers dispersed the worried families with tear gas and batons. Eventually, one of the released women confirmed that Mahsa was taken out of police station by an ambulance. Only 2 hours after her arrest, she was taken to hospital and the doctors at Kasra Hospital announced the brain death of Mahsa Amini by announcing the diagnosis of simultaneous heart attack and stroke. Kiarash Amini says that although he was not allowed to film his sister, he saw bruises on Mahsa's face and legs. Meanwhile, police claimed Mahsa Amini was directed to Police Department for Islamic Training, when she suddenly suffered a heart problem in public. However, Ali Mojtahid Zadeh, who is a lawyer, stated, "Police's statement about Ms. Amini is not justified and acceptable and needs to be proved." She died on Friday after a couple of days of being in the hospital. The funeral of Mahsa Amini was on 17th of September 2022 in cemetery of Aichi of Saqqez. Not only hundreds of people who went to her funeral were chanting against the Islamic Republic and Supreme Leader by death with the dictator or similar slogans, but also thousands of people in different cities of Iran went on street to protest against the Islamic regime and murdering innocent Mahsa Amini. Even though the protest was peaceful, the security forces opened fire on people and several protesters were shot and seriously injured. This time it is a young girl named Mahsa Amini who reminds me of my own daughters, who has become the victim of the misogynist Islamic Republic. I call on all of my compatriots, men and women, to stand up against this monstrosity and to support the freedom-seeking women of Iran, said Prince Reza Pahlavi on his Twitter page. Sajjad Amiri, a labor working in Kermanshah Petrochemical Company, committed self-immolation and died due to severe burns. After being fired, Mr. Amiri had struggled with several livelihood problems. Three weight carriers were shot due to firing by border forces in Kermanshah on 16th of September 2022. These 3 weight carriers were shot in the border area of Nosud by direct fire of the border regiment without any warning, and one of them is unfortunately dead. On the 2nd anniversary of the execution of Navid Afkari, 3 members of his family were arrested. Elham Afkari, Habib Afkari, and Habib's wife were violently arrested on their way to Navid Afkari's grave for his memorial ceremony. The protest of the families of the prisoners who are sentenced to death in front of the Judiciary Building in Tehran on 12th of September 2022. Families of death sentence prisoners held a protest rally for the 6th day against the executions in the prison of the Islamic Republic. Police attacked the gathering of the families of prisoners. Families of prisoners who are sentenced to death held a rally for the 5th day, protesting widespread executions in the prisons of the Islamic Republic. This group protest was attacked by the police. Protest of medical assistants on 13th of September 2022. Medical assistants held a rally in front of the Ministry of Health, protesting their non-standard specialty exam, the wrong questions, and the exam's incompatibility with educational topics. Shortage and quotation of volume expander serums in Iran's hospitals. In recent weeks, many patients and medical staff in hospitals and medical centers have suffered from volume expander serums deficiency. Lebanese get free fuel from Islamic Republic while Iranians wait in long queues at gas stations. The people of Karnouj and Rudbar Junub and some other areas wait for 3 to 4 hours in long queues at fuel stations every day. Dena petrochemical workers strike on 11th of September 2022. The workers of Dena Petrochemical Company located in Asaluye went on strike in protest of the non-payment of their salaries and arrears for 3 months. The workers of Islamabad Petrochemical Company also went on strike in protest of the non-payment of their salaries and arrears for several months. The workers and maintenance staff of the Lorestan railway line and technical facilities protested against the non-payment of their salaries and arrears for several months. The protest of workers of Brugert Textile on 15th of September 2022. Workers of Brugert Textile protested against not receiving 2 months of their salaries and their poor living conditions. Protest of retirees and pensioners of Steel Pension Fund in Isfahan, Khuzestan, Tehran and other cities of Iran on 11th of September 2022. Retirees and pensioners of Fulad Pension Fund held a rally in protest of their poor living conditions and lack of increase in their salaries.